Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for Fantasy Premier League football. Today, we're going to be going over some transfer targets for Game Week 8, who you should be thinking about bringing in. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 10 likes. Leave a comment, who are you transferring in and out this week. Subscribe if you're brand new. Thank you so much for 100 subs. I really do appreciate it. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video. So, starting things off with these transfer tips videos, what we usually do is show you 3 players that you should probably think about bringing into your team at some point in the near future. 1 player to sell if you have them, and then 1 player just to avoid. Don't bring them in because it's just probably not going to end too well. But we're starting off with some of the players that you should buy, and we're leading the line with Raul Jimenez, finally finding his form off the back of 2 assists in the last game week. Game week 7 was horrendous. So many captain blanks, so many players just not performing. It was awful. So if you got like 50 points, then you really had a good game week. I took a -8 and then I still got like 54 points. And I went up, which is kind of crazy. It was that mad. And that's because I own the likes of Raul Jimenez, who bagged a 10-point bomb. Thank you very much. He's 7.5 mil. Now, of course, he is on penalties as well, so not taking that out of the equation, but he is also starting as well every single game. He's pretty much solidified in that Wolves squad, whereas everyone around him isn't. You've got like Trincao, you've got Traore, obviously Hwang's coming in as well. Like, there's loads of players that are kind of around him that are mixing and matching and swapping all the time, but Raul Jimenez is there to stay, and he's finally finding his form. He didn't start the season too well, of course, with that horrific injury last season, but now he is starting to assist, get goals, everything like that. His expected goals has gone up to 1.9. It was really low over the first few game weeks. His expected assists are 1.4 now as well. He's scored, he's got 2 assists. Like I said, if you owned Raul Jimenez, he probably saved your game week. Him or Azpilicueta would have saved your game week 7. He's only owned by 6.1% of players as well, so he is still a bit of a diffie. I think a lot of people are going to be jumping on Hwang just because obviously knee-jerk reactions and stuff like that, and because obviously he just scored a brace. But I don't know why people aren't really taking too much of a look at Raul Jimenez. Probably because he's a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, he's nailed, he's on pens, he's finding his form, and Wolves have some really good fixtures. They're away at Aston Villa next, and then they're away at Leeds. Aston Villa, again, they can either be really good or really bad. It just depends how they are on their day. Leeds, of course, one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League so far. Everton at home. Everton still leaky at the back. We've got Crystal Palace, who are actually performing very well now. Like, they just drew with Leicester 2-2 from 2-0 down, which is kind of crazy. And then they have West Ham United at home, who of course just lost to Brentford. Brentford being a very good side this season. But again, there's more goals in those. So I think there's a few goals in these games. Definitely some assist potential. I think if you don't already have him in and you don't really want to bring in Hwang because you're not sure if he's going to start every game or what, I think Raul Jimenez is definitely someone you should keep your eye on and bring him in if you haven't already. As well as that, the fixtures don't get bad after game week 12 as well. I think they have like Norwich and stuff after that. Like, they've got like Burnley and Norwich or something. Like, I think his fixtures are good until like game week 15, and then they have like Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. So he's honestly just a hold until game week 15. Like, you don't even have to do anything to him. Of course, you could downgrade him to someone like Tony or Hwang, and obviously that's more money for you. But at the same time, I think he's a really good option at the moment, and definitely someone that you should think about bringing in. Next up, we have Rafinha. Now, if you don't already own Rafinha, that's fair enough, because he is just kind of a bit of an injury worry lately, but now he seems to be absolutely fine. He is going away to Brazil on international duty, but they have confirmed that he will be available for Southampton in the game week 8 fixture, so you don't have to worry about that. He's gone up to 6.6 mil, but this is just a really good player. He's a really nice budget midfielder, and he's getting goals, he's bagging points. His XG is 2.4, which is really good for a Leeds midfielder, and of course he is creating chances as well. An expected assist of 1.4. He scored 3 goals already this season, one of them a little bit fluky because it kind of just went through everyone and then the goalkeeper saw it late, but a goal was a goal, no matter how it goes in. He got the 5 points from it. He hasn't assisted anyone yet. He is owned by basically 20% of teams, which is quite high. So if you don't have him, and he obviously gets a really nice bunch of returns, then yeah, you are going to be kicking yourself about it. But Leeds have some really nice fixtures. They've got Southampton away, who of course he has been confirmed to be available for. Wolves at home, which is actually quite a tough fixture, to be fair, because Wolves, like I said earlier, very good defensively, very solid at the back. So yeah, there might not be too many goals in that game. I could see that just being like a 1-0. Then Norwich away, though. Norwich away is arguably the second best fixture of the season, the best fixture being Norwich at home. So you definitely want to have a Leeds asset for that game. And then Leicester at home, again, Leicester leaking in a lot of goals, and then Tottenham away as well, also leaking in goals. And I think Leeds fixtures get a little bit worse after that. I think they've got a pretty bad run of fixtures. But for the next like 5 or 6 game weeks, he's definitely someone you should be bringing in. And I think you kind of have to bring him in now. If you're on your wild card, you definitely got to bring Rafinha in for sure. There's not that many options around 6.5 that are going to be bringing in as many points as this guy is. So yeah, as well as like Bamford still being out and stuff, we don't know when he's back. Rafinha is probably one of the best, if not the best Leeds asset, because you know he's going to play 90 minutes every game if he's not injured. And like I say, he's at the heart of a lot of attacks. So Rafinha is definitely someone you should be thinking about bringing in if you don't already have him. And then finishing things off for the people that you should buy, Livramento. Now, he's a little bit under the radar at the moment. Like, I know a lot of people are bringing him in, just like, we're not bringing him in, but a lot of people are kind of saw him because he's a very cheap option, but Southampton's fixtures were so bad. But now they're really good, and he's nailed, and he's 4.2 million. So the best thing about Livramento is that he is such a good bench option. So if you are on your wild card, or you just have a free transfer or 2 free transfers, and you don't really need to roll one, like there's no problems in your team, think about bringing in this guy. He's very cheap. Like I say, he's nailed. He's playing 90 minutes every single game, and Southampton's fixtures are really good. So if you are playing someone like, I don't know, Reece James or Azpilicueta or Alonso or Foden or Grealish or someone that might not play, then Livramento is a very good backup, especially for the next 5 game weeks, because he is at home at Leeds, Burnley at home, Watford away, Aston Villa at home, and then Norwich away. All of these games, he could pick up a clean sheet in. So you could even play him in your starting 11, but if not, put him on the first slot on your bench, and if he comes in, you know, he's probably going to get you a lot of points. He did just get the penalty assist, I do believe, against Chelsea at the weekend. So his expected assist is 1. His XG is 0.1. I mean, he doesn't take shots. But again, at the same time, you just want him coming on off your bench if you need him. So he's probably the best bench option, I would say, at the moment, Livramento is, because Southampton has just got such good fixtures coming up. He's owned by 13% of teams now, so a lot of people are kind of jumping on him. I think he's already had like 50,000 people bring him in this week alone as well. So he's probably going to go up to 4.3. So if you are on your wild card, you might want to bring him in now, just so you do miss that price rise and you do have him ready, because like I say, a lot of people don't realize how good Southampton's fixtures are over the next 5 game weeks. Like I say, Leeds, Burnley, Watford, Villa, Norwich, like they are really good fixtures. Norwich away especially, and Watford away, I guess, are also very good fixtures. But yeah, Livramento, definitely someone you should think about bringing in if you don't already have him. Coming up next, a player to sell, Big Ronnie. Now, how mad was it that he got benched? Like, honestly, out of nowhere. I don't know what Solskjaer's doing. He benched Ronaldo, he benched Pogba, he benched Sancho. I think at this point he's trying to lose his job. But yeah, Ronaldo is a player that you should just probably think about selling now. He's 12.6 mil. He's already had a price drop from 12.7. He's not on penalties. He has a really bad run of fixtures coming up. He might get benched from time to time. Imagine having a 12.6 mil player and him not knowing if he's going to start every single game. Like, it's just ridiculous. And as well as that, their fixture run is awful. Like, not even looking at his stats, like, yeah, his expected goals 2.8, expected assists 0.2. He's scored 3 this season, assisted none. He's in just below 50% of teams. But Leicester away, Liverpool at home, Tottenham away, Man City at home, and then Watford away. With how bad United have been at the moment, him not even 100% starting every single game. Like, I think he will probably start the next 4, just simply because they're really tough fixtures. And Solskjaer kind of needs to, because he benched like some of his best players against the team. Like, Everton isn't a pushover. Everton's playing really well this season, so I don't know what went through his head. But yeah, Ronaldo, I would sell him personally. I don't think he's worth the money at the moment. Maybe bring him in when United have that really good run of fixtures. It's like 8 greens in a row or something. So if they've sorted out by then yeah, for sure, bring him back in if you want. But for right now, I don't think you need him. You can easily downgrade him to Lukaku, which a lot of people are doing as of right now, which will give you like an extra 0.9 or whatever it is, 0.8, and that money can be used much better elsewhere. Or it could even allow you to go from like Cancelo to Trent or something if you have an extra bit more money. So yeah, honestly, Ronaldo, as much as as I love the guy, he is the GOAT, but at the same time, just as of right now, I can't really see that many positives of owning him. Like, you could keep him for game week 8, like Leicester away isn't that bad of a fixture because, you know, Leicester are, like I say, leaking so many goals this season. But after that, like Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, and I think Chelsea have... I think they've got Brentford away, which again is a tough fixture. Is Leicester away with United better than Brentford away with Chelsea? I don't think so. I think Chelsea's probably got the better chance there. Although Chelsea, I mean, they did stick 3 past Liverpool, so who knows at this point. But anyway, Ronaldo is someone that I would potentially be getting rid of if you haven't already. Finishing things off, though, a player to avoid. Yes, Alonso. It happens that quick. He was literally in everybody's team. Everyone was bringing him in. He was shooting up in price, and then he missed one game week, and now everybody's going like, oh no, maybe he's not going to start every game week. And that's the problem with Alonso. If he was playing 90 minutes every single game, he'd be a staple. He'd be like a Trent in everybody's team. But because Chilwell is there, it really just kind of throws a spanner in the work. You don't really want a 6 mil defender not knowing if they're going to be playing every week, and you never know, he could come on and get like 1 point or something, which is even worse because then your bench doesn't even come on. So yeah, Alonso is very much an avoid at the moment. I mean, we don't have enough data yet to see whether he is going to play more than Chilwell or what, whether you want to take the risk. If I was owning a Chelsea asset, I would more likely bring in Rudiger because he's nailed. Azpilicueta I think is pretty nailed. Reece James I think is going to be more nailed than Alonso. Obviously both Chilwell and Alonso have gone away on international duty as well, so it's not even like one of them's going to have rest over the next 2 weeks. So yeah, it's just a situation really. I mean, 26% of teams own him, so if you want to keep him, then that's fair play. Like, to be fair, he pairs up really, really well with Livramento. He really does, because as you can see, Chelsea have Brentford, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, Leicester, and then if he didn't play any of those game weeks, you have Livramento coming in against Leeds, Burnley, Watford, Villa, Norwich. So really, if you are on a wild card and you do want to bring Alonso in, bring in Livramento as well, because he's such a good backup for Alonso if he doesn't play. And the only reason I could see Alonso coming on is if, like, because he's such an attacking defender. So even if they're like, maybe if they're losing 1-0, they might bring him on, but then they'll probably bring on someone like Werner or someone, or Havertz instead. So Alonso isn't a player that I think will come on and just grab you the 1 point, but at the same time, if you do want to be safe about it, I think Livramento is a very, very good backup. But as well as that, his expected goals and assists is both 0.8. He's scored 1, he's assisted 1 this season, and I think he's like one of the top 5 most transferred out players this game week, as well as all the United assets and stuff as well. But I don't have Alonso, but if I did have him right now, I probably would sell him. I wouldn't sell him for Chilwell, just because again, you don't know, like Chilwell might just be getting swapped as just as much as Alonso. I really don't know. I would probably opt for like Reece James or Azpilicueta, who are the same price, if not even cheaper, or Rudiger if you don't have him. But yeah, as much as I would love to have Alonso, just that his minutes being managed is just such a risk, and I don't really want a 6 mil defender not playing every week. So yeah, that is going to be the transfer tips video for this week. We're probably going to do like multiple videos this week on everything, because obviously it's international break right now, so if things happen over international break, we have injuries and stuff like that, then there's probably going to be more transfer videos. Like I'll probably do another one of these next week with different players and different, like, I don't know, wildcard drafts, or maybe we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment. Again, who you're transferring in and out this season. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. Absolutely smashed it. The wildcard video last night blew up, and I really, really do appreciate it. So yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to stick around, ring the notification bell. Have a fantastic rest of your day though, and until next time, peace.